Hello everyone, welcome to mathanytime.com recorded videos. In this video we're going over quadratics, solving quadratics using the quadratic formula. As we all know, the quadratic formula is x equals to negative b plus minus in a square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Let's take a look at this question. 2x squared minus 7x minus 13 equals negative 10. So the first thing we want to do is to bring all the terms to one side and set the equation equal to 0. In order to do that, we're going to add 10 to both sides of the equation. Once we add top to bottom, we get 2x squared minus 7x minus 13 equals to 0. Then we're going to figure out what our a term, b term, and c terms are, the coefficients. A is always the coefficient attached to the leading term, which is 2 in this particular case. B is the coefficient attached to the second term, in this case is negative 7, and C is the constant. So we indicate our formula, x being negative b plus or minus in a square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And then when we're going to plug in those values to the formula, you always want to put a parentheses, plug it in through a parentheses. Why? In order to not make mistakes with the signs. So that's the numerator of the formula, and the denominator is this. The rest is just calculation. Negative 7 would be a positive 7, plus minus in a square root. Negative 7 squared up is 49, plus 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 3 is 24, over 4. And this would be 7 plus minus 73 square root over 4. So the roots would be x1 being plus version, and x2 being second root, the negative root. Those would be the x-intercepts, the roots of the quadratic. No need to further simplify. The only way you can make a mistake here is if you determine the ABC wrong from the question, and then you do the calculation errors. All right, let's take a look at another example. To the top, x squared minus 31 minus 2x equals to negative 6 minus 3x squared minus 2x. So we're going to bring all the terms to one side, and then we're going to set it equal to 0. I look at how I solve this is I take a look at the leading term, which is the x squares in this particular case, and then I look at the coefficients. Whichever one has a bigger coefficient, I gather the terms on that side. On the left hand side, the x squared, the coefficient is 1. On the right hand side, the coefficient to the leading term is negative 3. So it's better to gather them on the left hand side to not deal with negative numbers after we gather the terms. So we're going to add 6, add a 3x squared, and then add a 2x to both sides. Add 6, add a 3x squared, add a 2x. Top to bottom, we do the addition. This will cancel that, this will cancel that, this will cancel that. So this would be 4x squared. The 2x and the negative 2x will take out each other. 4x squared minus 25. equals to 0. Now, what is our A term? B term and C term. Our A term is 4. We have no B term and our C term. So B term is 0 and the C term is negative 25. We put the formula. It's always best to copy down the formula every single time. That way you'll get used to it, memorizing the formula. Even though the ACT and SAT tests do provide the formula, it's better to have it without spending precious time on the test looking over the formula. So this would be a 0 plus minus and a square root 0 squared up would just turn out to be 0. 4 times 4 times negative 25 over 2 times 4. So this would be 0 plus minus a negative times a negative will be 16 times 25 is 400, which the square root of 400 would turn out to be 20. Let me just carry this up here. This would be x equals to plus minus 20 over 8. So when we split this, we will have the first root as 20 over 8, the positive version, and the second root would be negative 20 over 8. Simplified, this would be 10 over 5. This would be negative 10 over 4, my bad. 8 divided by 2 would be 4. This would be negative 10 over 4. So that would be the solution set. Negative 10 over 4 with 10 over 4 in brackets. Alright, so that was 2 examples towards the quadratic formula applied to solve quadratic equations. And that's pretty much it. You can only mess it up 2 ways. If you plug in your A, B, C wrong, and if you do the calculations wrong. If you like this video, the best way to support us is to share this video. Please click on the like and subscribe buttons along with the notification bell. Remember, practice makes perfect.